a sixth trip to the College Cup. Was picked first in the Midwest Division for the Big East Conference. And if you'd start with an opening statement.
Yeah, just really excited to get started again. It was a fun summer, but it's time to get back into it. And it's always exciting when all our boys are getting back into town and gearing up for the season. So hoping for some good soccer this season.
Blue Jays tonight play Drake at 6 p.m. It will be the second exhibition match of the season. They open the year with a 4-0 victory over Northern Illinois, and we'll open the floor to questions.
Johnny, what are you just kind of looking to get out of these three preseason matches?
You know, we're looking to get some continuity. We do have 11 new faces, 6 that came in the spring, and 5 that came in August. And so for me, our biggest thing that we'll be looking for is some continuity between the returners and the new players, making sure that we're staying up to speed in the way that we want to play.
Expect Virgil and Mark to be ready to go on the opener, or are they still kind of working through those?
Yeah, those two guys are day to day. You know, obviously this is the double-edged sword about summer ball, right? You want guys to be able to stay fit, have good rhythm, but you're always in between. You know, how much should they play or not, and does this make it a little bit detrimental in regards to having an injury pop up like it did for Mark and Giorgio? But they are definitely improving, but it's day to day.
How do you gauge that continuity when you're playing the game? How do you gauge that?
Well, scoring 4 goals, I guess, is pretty good. You know, I think there's different metrics we look at. One of the things that we looked at against NIU was possession spent in our opponent's half. You know, that gives you a bit of an indication on whether or not you had possession of the ball. And if you do, to me, that's the best defense you can play, right? So in regards to our defense, if we're able to have the ball a majority of the time, that's a good thing. How many times we're able to keep them at bay away from our 18-yard box. And so these are some of the metrics that we're looking at to see where we're at in regards to understanding in regards to how the group wants to play, and continuity.
In terms of your ability to pressure high, how much of the responsibility does the back line have in making sure your lines are, your gaps are as picked as it possibly is? I guess your last line of defense is more closer to your opponent's half than yours, but
No, absolutely. You know, I think that responsibility lies on everybody. It starts with Alfie Pope as the first line of defense, if you want to call it that, because he's our highest player, and our back line with Nathan Schnurr in goal. We have to stay compact as a unit. If we want to be able to press at will and have our lines high, we still have to be compact. Now, we understand this means there's going to be more space behind us, and we might be at risk. But if we're fully committed to the press and do it correctly, we should be winning the ball within the next 5 seconds, so we should be okay.
having Luke Mitchell back for an entire build-up, I assume he played some of that. What have you seen from him now that he's had he came on late last year, but he had a strong finish. Like, what's it been like having him kind of build up for the season now and having stacking more practices and games healthy?
Of course, yeah. No, starting the season last year, he had just come back from hip surgery, and so it took him a bit to get back into it. So now he's got a full summer under his belt where he was preparing. And, you know, the guys really feel comfortable with Luke at the back because he's got a presence about him, right? Defensively, he's hard-nosed. He's the type of character that doesn't take much bull. And he's a good leader, right? And he's very capable in the back. So it gives us a lot of confidence knowing that he's the type of guy that's back there leading our back line.
A guy like Alfie Pope, what kind of confidence do you have to kind of take that next step and take on a bigger role in this team's offense?
You know, when Alfie came to us, he was a transfer. He came to us after scoring 28 goals in a season. So he's a guy with a lot of experience. He's a guy with a lot of confidence. And even last year, having Duncan in front of him and doing as well as he did, Alfie understood that, you know, Duncan was in good form. And he understands now that the position is his. and he's got to come in and respond. And we have all the confidence in the world in Alfie.
Internally, how do you guys deal with kind of the expectations of coming off the college stuff, starting the preseason ranked eighth, and maybe not going to be able to sneak up on some teams that you may have done earlier in last
Yeah.
season?
You know, I think we just focus on what our standards are, regardless of what transpired last year. Our standards were the same last year than they are this year. And so we focus on taking it day by day and making sure that our standards don't dip.
You've kind of always understood that the Big East is a monster of the conference, right? And kind of prepares you for anything you'll face early or late. Adding Akron to that mix, like how do you feel about that and what it does to kind of enhance the level of tests you're going to face throughout the duration of your season?
You know, Akron is a storied program. They're a very good program, and I think it only makes the Big East stronger. And that for us, now that we're divisions, it makes the Midwest Division stronger. So we welcome it. We're looking forward to it. And like you said, it's just another match that prepares us for hopefully some NCAA soccer down the road.
I know expansion doesn't necessarily bleed into your sport as much when it's in the mainstream conversation, but it is a little bit of a creative twist to add Akron for a men's soccer only part of the league. It enhances obviously men's soccer without having to necessarily funnel into other sports. Like, do you think that's kind of coming in the future in terms of being a little bit creative with how to put together the strongest conferences in each sport?
You know, with all the mobility that I've seen in the last 5 years in regards to collegiate sports, man, I don't know what to expect, to be honest with you. But you know what? We roll with the punches. I love my job, and I don't want to get away from my job in college athletics. And so I hope college athletics and conferences are still around. But yeah, there's been a lot of movement and mobility in the last 5 years, and we roll with it.
Jackson Castro obviously had a really good season for you guys last year. Takes on the number 10 this year. How important of a role is he going to play in this year's team?
Yeah, no, you know, he was an important part for us last year. We always knew that Castro was going to come in and be a main catalyst to our offense. He's just a special type of player, right? He's one of those players that offensively you don't have to coach too much. You know, you just put him in the right spots, and he's fun to watch. And so looking forward to Jackson being the main catalyst for our attack.